All right, welcome back to part 2 of reviewing Key's album Gasoline. I would like to clarify what I said in part 1 where I was like, oh, this is the second official album and Bad Love is the first one. I recognize that Face was like technically the first album because Bad Love was an EP, and I didn't mention Face at all. But Key, whenever he's talking about Gasoline, he usually talks about it with Bad Love because Bad Love is where the retro concept began and he really wants to keep that as his concept. So Bad Love and Gasoline go together and Face is there and Face is gorgeous and we love Face, but I didn't find it necessary to touch on that in order to break down this album. Although I did love Face. Good, good. Got me good, good, you know? Anyways, yeah, let's move on to part 2. This is the part where the songs move from validation, validating you, validating your wants, validating your feelings, validating your worth. Now, we're gonna move to vulnerability in part 2, which is how I feel like this album is broken up, in my opinion. Validation, vulnerability. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the next song after GOAT in this Gasoline album is I Can't Sleep, which I love. I Can't Sleep to me sounds like a coming of age movie soundtrack song, you know, like you're driving in a car and then the camera pans out and it's like probably sunset or something. It just sounds like one of those. It's an immediate head bopper. You just have to bop your head to it. I love the harmonies and the vocal layering in this whole thing. There's so much vocal layering. It's kind of like when you can't sleep, you have all this time on your hands, so might as well add more vocal layers and harmonies. But going along with that time thing, there's guitar, like there's guitar 16th notes that just keep ticking the whole time, like tick, 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 and it's like time is running out. Well, not running out, but time is going by. Time is going by and I'm still here. Still doing the same things. I can't sleep. I can't sleep. It's repetitive so much. I can't sleep. I can't sleep no more. I can't sleep. I can't sleep no more. It repeats so many times to just kind of mimic. It's like counting sheep, right? You're trying to do something, but you just can't. It just keeps going. Like the tick of a clock. It just keeps going. And it gets more desperate that I can't sleep as the pitch goes up. It just gives a sense of like desperation and like wanting to just go to sleep, but you can't. This is very much like late night thoughts, this song is. The bridge is stripped back and beautiful. The percussion on the downbeats make it an immediate head bopper for sure. Yeah, the lyrics. I close my eyes and ears, anxiety that comes, and 1,000 thoughts. Because when you're trying to fall asleep, right, you're trying to make yourself fall asleep, but you're just sitting there with your eyes closed. And he said he put earplugs in. And you're just left with your thoughts. What are you thinking about? But then your thoughts make you not able to go to sleep. And then maybe you're thinking about your phone, maybe you're thinking about the world, maybe you're thinking about your issues. So then you turn your phone on, might as well, you're bored. And then, now that you have that light from your phone, super bright, wakes you up even more because it makes your eyes think it's not ready time to go, it's not nighttime, so it's not time to go to sleep yet. So then you have to wait even longer to go to bed because you did that, because you looked at your phone for a split second, and that's what he says in the lyrics. And then, more lyrics that I like are, I'm happy even if it's a scary nightmare. My head is all ruined, go to a world without morning. Like, I just want to fall asleep. I don't care if I have a nightmare. I just want to go to sleep. Go to a world without morning. I often feel like that because the nighttime is your time. You get to do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about anything else because you don't have anything to do. You know, it's 1 in the morning. All you have to do is maybe watch a show, maybe do whatever you want to do. It's your time. And I definitely stay up late because I feel like I have all the time in the world. But as soon as you see the sun start to rise again, you're like, well, now I have no time because if I fall asleep now, I'll be drowsy the next day, or I might as well just stay up the whole night, but then I'll still be drowsy the next day and I will not be at my best to do what I need to do, and you will not be the most productive. So it's really just a lose-lose situation, but you want to have that time at night that's just to yourself because you want that and you want to divulge in that and you really want to like indulge. Indulge is the word I was searching for, thank you. You want to indulge in that time for yourself, but time keeps moving, time keeps ticking, and unfortunately you don't have all the time in the world to be spending at night. So yeah, I really loved I Can't Sleep. Moving on to Ain't Gonna Dance. Ain't Gonna Dance begins with just voice on noise. It's just Key's luscious voice just on some noise. So it's like, oh, we're out. We got out of the house, we're doing something. And the instrumentals in this are actually very interesting because for the chorus, it's just percussion and an 808 basically overlaid with different noises. They're all different things and they're never really the same in like one chorus, right? So it's strange, and Ain't Gonna Dance is all about like not really doing what others want you to do. It's saying no, it's sticking up for yourself. The only time there's ever like held notes, which is what you would typically expect in a song, like, you know, chords and, you know, melodies in the background, is kind of just for the pre-chorus and for the bridge. And then everything else, the instruments are very unexpected because you just never know what noise is gonna pop up next. It's always something else. And I feel like that kind of fits with the lyrics, right? You're not doing what others want you to do. Oh, you want me to make a nice, pretty good sound, like a nice melodic song? No, I'm gonna hit you with all these weird noises. I really like it though. Ain't Gonna Dance is a good one, and it grew on me a lot. The more I listen to it, the more I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna dance for your lovin', you know? I really like it. So moving on to Another Life. Another Life I immediately liked, and I remember hearing that it was played, like he performed it before he put it on this album, and people just loved it so much that they wanted him to put it on this album, so he did. But I feel like it fits in the album really well. It's an all English song, so I was gonna sing it for something, but I didn't. The lyrics are about like forgetting your worries and enjoying the company of each other, doing anything to find happiness. Like the lyrics say, fighting battles, I want you back in my life, hollow, lights fading fast. Like you're really trying to grab onto that happiness, and you're trying to leave this life and go to another one where there are no problems, there are no worries, there is nothing you have to do. All you have to do is just be happy. And I would love to live in that world. So bad. Like, take me with you, Key. I will go there with you. Let's go. To Atlantis, which reminded me of the Shiny song. So I'm wondering if it's a Shiny reference, but it's probably not. But anyways, the sound is very galactic, and I don't really know how to describe that besides like they're very chimey, reverbed synths, and the bass sounds very like techie, like you're on a spaceship, but you're like zooming light years at a time. And there's voice distortion on like the ooh part, which sounds very alien or very like robotic. Yeah, so that's the best I can do to describe why it sounds galactic to me, but it does. And it's not just because he says like rocket shoot to outer space, go to the moon. Like it's not because of that, I swear, it sounds galactic. But yeah, this one's also an immediate head bopper. So on to the next one. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm going through these a little faster because I realized I talked too much in the last one. I talked too much. We don't need all that. So now we're just going through like what I really want to say about the songs. So with Delight. Delight begins with this gorgeous piano. You're expecting, oh, there's gonna be a ballad, right? And then it's like, no, we're going to divert your expectations and we're gonna switch it up on ya. So they did, and they added some snaps and they added some claps and they made it all happy. And so it sounded happy, it sounded delightful. And the chorus only has like bass, percussion, and vocals until the second part, so it can really give you that build throughout the song, and you really feel like happy as the song builds, and it gives you that very satisfying build. It plays with the lack of instruments a lot to give you that nice build, right? There's a lot of pauses in the instrument. There's a lot of times they strip back a lot of sounds so that you're only hearing a couple tracks at a time. And that allows them to, in the last choruses and in different parts of the song, make it a full, satisfying sound, especially for like the pre-chorus, not right before the chorus, but like it's the first part of the pre-chorus, very full, satisfying sound, and then the final chorus is also very full, satisfying sound, so that you can really enjoy the delight of the song, Delight. And the lyrics are about, I read this somewhere, they're about Laputa, which is the castle in the sky. Which, just reading the lyrics, I didn't get that. I mean, I did get, like, you're trying to get to a paradise, right? Which kind of has the same themes of Another Life, but at this one, you're kind of there. Like, you've reached it, and your paradise is just love. Like, with this overflowing love and this overflowing happiness, that is your paradise, and that is your castle in the sky. And if you can stay in this moment forever, like, oh, that would be great. But it's basically just a really heartwarming moment on this album where we've gone through these trials and tribulations. You know, we've expressed what we wanted to express, we've expressed our wants, we've expressed our worries, and now we're just like, you know what, just soak in this happiness, soak in this love, and have a good time with Key as he sings really nicely. So that's Delight. And then we move on to the last track of the album, which I feel like Delight almost did that. Delight was the end of the album, and then Proud is kind of, it felt a little tagged on there, but I don't know where else I would put it in the album because it is such a great last song. But Delight also feels like a last song, just in very different ways. But Proud, you know, it's very secure, constant and secure instrumentally. The guitar and the piano play the same melody, so you're given really strong punches when the chords come in from the piano, but you're also given really satisfying like slides and personality from the guitar in there. If you listen to that, it actually sounds pretty nice. I read that the lyrics were taken from his mom's diary. Well, not taken. His lyrics were inspired by his mom's diary that she had kept from Key's childhood, which I think is adorable. That's so cute. Imagine reading that. Oh. But yeah, I feel like the beginning and ending of this album were both celebrations, just of very different things. Like Gasoline was a celebration of like all that you have achieved, all that Key has achieved, and like who he is, and he knows who he is, and that's, here he is. But there was still a lot underneath that he had to figure out, right? That's like your persona, that's what you're putting out into the world. But then we had to do a lot of introspective digging and a lot of validation and a lot of vulnerability, and then we get to, you know what, I'm proud of who I actually am. The first one was Here I Am, and this is like who I am, you know? So yeah, I liked how the album began and ended with this kind of celebration, like, because Proud did feel like a celebration. It was just less loud and in your face as Gasoline was. It was more like, this celebration is for me and me only, you know, it's very personal. Whereas Gasoline was like, let's celebrate together because here I am. But yeah, the lyrics felt like, you know, when you feel like a burden, but then you find your strength and your confidence, and you realize that nothing lasts forever, so you have to be satisfied with what you have, and if you're not, you have to find something to give you that satisfaction. It's like, do what you love, is basically what this song was saying, and do what you love and then be happy with what you love. Like, find what makes you happy and be proud of who you are and be proud of your journey and be proud of where you are in your life at this moment. So yeah, that was Proud. This album, one of my favorite K-pop albums that came out recently. definitely. Yeah. And especially from a solo artist, I mean, I would expect nothing less from Key. Key is one of my favorite solo artists in K-pop. Oh, he kills it every time. But my favorite song on this album might be Guilty Pleasure. Either yeah, I'm thinking Guilty Pleasure, or Another Life, or Villain. Villain really got me, especially with the dance. I want to do that dance so bad. My least favorite song on this might be Proud. Might Be Proud. I like it, and it feels very personal, and it feels very vulnerable, but because of that, it's hard for me to exactly relate to it, but that's no reason not to like it. I still love it so much, and I listen to it all the time. But I think just compared to the others, I think audibly, Proud is a little simpler because it is trying to be very constant and very secure in like what it is. And the light turned off, so give me a second. Proud instrumentally felt a lot simpler because it was the same thing. It was trying to be very constant, very secure, very stable in yourself, you know, like we're comfortable in our own skin now. That's what Proud was giving. But the other ones just interested me more listening to them. So that is my thoughts on that. I think this album in the future hopefully will get a lot of recognition, because the whole reason I'm making this review is because I think this album is really slept on right now. And it might just be like where I am in the internet, but nobody is talking about it. And it's like so great. It's such a good album. Why is nobody talking about it? I don't know. But yeah, anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you have any opinions on this album or any albums that come out recently that you want me to check out, let me know. Thanks. Bye.